how is it going everybody, Mr. Android here? Well, this is the speed test comparison between the Pixel 8 Pro and the S23 Ultra. I'll be doing everything right from the apps opening to gaming. I'll also show you some benchmark scores and then we'll move on to the RAM management followed by the video rendering test. Guys, it's gonna be a really interesting video, so stay tuned and watch it till the very end. Also, let's aim for at least 1500 likes on this one. With that said, drop a like, leave a comment and let's get started. So let's see how the Pixel 8 Pro with the Tensor G3 stacks up against the best Android phone of 2023, that is the S23 Ultra with its super efficient 8 Gen 2 processor. Let's start off by booting up both phones at the same time. As expected, the Pixel turns on much faster, and Samsung phones usually takes a bit more time to boot up, maybe because of the custom Android skin One UI that runs on Samsung devices. So the Pixel 8 Pro is definitely faster to turn on than the S23 Ultra. Now both phones do have an in-display fingerprint scanner, but we get more advanced ultrasonic fingerprint scanner on the S23 Ultra, and it does work slightly better than the Pixel 8 Pro. Let me show you the actual difference between these fingerprint scanners. If I want to unlock my S23 Ultra, I just need to tap and it unlocks instantly. Just a single tap and it unlocks my phone. But since we have an optical scanner on the Pixel, it takes a bit more time to unlock. It doesn't unlock when you tap on the scanner like this, and you need to tap and hold a bit and it unlocks immediately. So there is a slight delay, and the fingerprint scanner on the S23 is far more superior than the Pixel 8 Pro. Now in terms of the benchmark, the 8 Gen 2 destroys the Tensor G3 and there is such a huge difference in scores. But I always prefer doing a side-by-side comparison so we will get a better idea on how these phones perform in real life. Now it's time for the apps opening test, and we'll start things with some basic apps like Phone Dialer, Messages, Calculator. Samsung is slightly fast, but the difference is hardly noticeable. Since we are in camera, I'll show you how is the experience when you switch between different lenses, and honestly it doesn't feel smooth on both phones. I'm not sure why, but switching between lenses on an iPhone feels much better and smooth when compared to any Android smartphone. Now let's open some internet based applications like Amazon, YouTube, now let's open YouTube Music. Definitely S23 Ultra is slightly ahead opening the applications, but still Pixel is also doing a great job. Instagram. Now let's open X. Even though both phones are able to load the content at the same time, but the scrolling feels a lot smoother on the S23 Ultra when compared to the Pixel. I had the same issue with my Pixel 7 Pro, and even with the Pixel 8, scrolling doesn't feel as smooth as the S23 Ultra, especially on apps like Twitter. Next up, let's open Chrome and we'll see which one loads up the pages faster. Here the scrolling feels a lot smoother on the Pixel 8 unlike the Twitter application, and it looks to be about the same on both devices. It's time to open a couple of games, and let's start with Subway Surfers. Slight delay on the Pixel 8 Pro, and I'll just close it and open some heavy games like the Need for Speed. Again, the Pixel 8 Pro is slightly behind the S23 Ultra when opening games, but I don't see any major difference. Now let's open Call of Duty, which is more demanding, and we'll see how the phones perform. Here you can clearly see the difference. The loading time on the S23 Ultra seems to be a lot better than the Pixel 8 Pro. Now let's check out the RAM management and see if we have all the apps open in the background or not. RAM management seems to be really good on both the phones. Pixel manages to keep all the apps open in the background, and so far I'm quite impressed with the Pixel 8 Pro. It did pretty good on both the apps opening and RAM management test. Now finally let's do the video rendering and find out which phone renders out the video faster. We have the same 4K clip on both phones and we're gonna render both the clips in 1080p mode. As you can see, the 8 Gen 2 inside the S23 Ultra is blazing through the process and the Tensor G3 is taking quite a long time to render this clip. So this is where you see the real difference between the 8 Gen 2 and the Tensor G3. Apart from the video rendering test, I would still say Pixel did a great job, and even though there is a huge difference in the benchmark scores, the Pixel 8 Pro did an excellent job. Clearly Samsung is fast, but not with a huge margin. If you open apps and games, you'll hardly notice any difference between these phones. Now after doing all these tests, I did notice that my Pixel 8 Pro gets slightly warm, but the thermals are not as bad as the Pixel 7 Pro. When you are playing some heavy games, you will definitely notice some heating on this phone, but trust me, it is quite manageable when compared to the last year's Pixel 7 Pro. So that's pretty much it for this video. This was a speed test comparison between the Pixel 8 Pro and the S23 Ultra. If you guys like this video, then be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'm Mr. Android and I will see you guys in the next one.